You guys want some candy?
It's our candy.
We're gonna throw candy at people. Oranges. It's like a parade. Star Mints and butterscotch.
Just like Grandpa used to have.
Mine.
Butterscotch.
John!
You didn't have a grandpa who gave you fucking Werthers and that stuff? That's not even a grandpa.
The Werthers are not butterscotch.
Some Werthers is butterscotch.
Yeah, it's only fair, huh?
What? It's like butterscotch or caramel.
Welcome to the One Up Your Show live at PAX. I'm Garnet Lee. Special guest star Luke Smith right here. Luke Smith. And of course, Shane Bettenhausen and John. My God. And I think there are more people here this year than last year, which is scary. That is kind of amazing, isn't it?
I think you remarked before the show started that not just more people are here, you said there are more chicks here. I think it's important to repoint that out.
Some backstage Betty's here for you, Luke.
I'm tired and washed up, dude. I'm out the game.
We'll be back right over down that corner of the stage.
Are you pointing out a backstage Betty?
Yeah.
Oh.
And let's not forget Andrew, DJ Fist Skipper right there. That's the man. He has no wheels of steel, but he's still the man. Executive producer for the show. Thank you, Andrew, for... How long have we been doing this?
Long time.
13 years. It's amazing.
We've also got David Big Fun Ellis videotaping this back here.
All right, so Shane and I walked around the floor today.
Hey, wait a second. Did you introduce John? Or was I like not paying attention?
Yes, I did.
You rolled John into John and my introduction.
Why didn't they each get their own?
We come as a pair because we're sharing water.
No. And by that he means the sharing water.
Is that a new Shakespearean way of sharing water?
What is that? Like, I don't even know what
Too human way of sharing water.
Like,
I think what he meant is they're swap and spit. All right.
Just grab one of the strawberries, you'll be fine.
Oh, look, she brought you more water to share.
So where's your spit on it?
So we were walking around the show floor, Garnet, and then you fell ill and had to leave.
Oh, man, I'll tell you. By the way, the Cheesecake Factory. Danny, by the way, Madeira chicken was like the death of me. What is in that thing? What? You're sick. So that was bad, wasn't it? Dude, it killed me.
It wasn't the Diablo?
Would you like to know what'll solve it? 2 double bourbons and soda.
All right, Garnet, as interesting as your intestinal problems are,
And they are.
we should talk about the games we saw. So the big thing that was on the show floor that I was surprised to see was the Conduit for Wii, which is by High Voltage. It's a first-person shooter.
Right, so how badly are High Voltage shitting their pants right now to be all of a sudden the guys who are the Nintendo saviors?
Well, I mean, it is a core game. It's a first-person shooter. Nintendo's showing it in their booth. It's the first time anyone's seen it live, and I think it looks pretty good for Wii. I really do.
Because the Wii is known for its shooters. I mean, it's done really well with those so far. It's been excellent.
They can't have shooters.
No, I'm saying they could have shooters, but they did not look derivative. And by the way, is the core audience for the Wii really looking for shooters? I mean, is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Have you been here? Have you played the Conduit? Do you see it? What do you guys any into it? No, thumbs down. All right, hold on. Thumbs down.
Downs?
Ups. That guy likes it.
Oh, wait. The scary part is the rest of them are all no fucking
Indifferent. How many people are completely indifferent? Yeah.
Excellent. We have a job for you, Tiff Davis.
Maybe PAX attendees aren't Wii fans.
Could be. Are you guys Wii fans? Yeah, right? Come on. And since when was Nintendo about like space aliens with growing guns of look organic and laser beams and what the hell is all that crap? What? Metroid. Yeah, to me, Metroid had character, dude. Metroid had character and style and art design.
Dude,
come on.
To me, the Conjurer looks like Metroid Prime meets Resistance meets Perfect Dark. And, like, you know, it's not original, but hey, there's nothing else like it on Wii. Leave it alone.
It's not original, but it's on the Wii. That makes it okay.
Can we talk about something me and Luke can talk
Luke,
about?
it's like you never left.
It's, I don't have anything to say about that. My Wii is woefully underused, and by underused, I mean it's like not even white anymore. It's just covered in dust, and
Actually,
it's on its way to the closet, and it needs to stay there.
Actually, Luke, on a really famous message board, people said that this Conjurer game looked better than Halo 3.
That's
famously.
cool. That's entitled to their opinions. That's fine.
You post it?
They,
A couple of times.
Do you guys know Shane's handle on this famous message board? Do you guys ever want to search the post, find it? If you just talk to me after class. I'll tell you who the man god is. I ain't got no problems with it.
And by the way, he'd also like some help with getting that Wii back in action.
No, I want it collecting dust just like it is. Are you doing like another bad double entendre, like water swapping? What was that earlier? I forgot.
Look, just drink your plum wine.
Well, actually, Luke, I know you're a big fan of the Xbox 360. I also saw the XNA games, so some real XNA games here, and they're actually looking really good. I saw a game called Coliseum. The graphics look insane for an XNA game, so it's cool to see the fruits of that initiative finally coming true. So if Kathleen Sanders is here, your games look good. I don't know where she's here. She's not here.
You know, I think that's going to be the big sleeper is that people will be very surprised about the stuff that's coming out of the XNA Lounge. I mean, that's where that garage development thing is really going to catch on. It's even more than PlayStation Network. It's very much the grassroots. A couple of three guys can put together a game and make something of it.
Although here at the show floor, you can actually see a couple of guys getting together to make a Little Big Planet level, which it's on a huge TV. It looks awesome. Like, if you haven't played that yet, go play it.
Look, I mean, you guys all know that I am Little Big Planet's bitch, right? I mean...
You haven't been playing it around the office. We've had it, dude. You haven't even played my level yet.
Dude, I was playing it before you were playing it.
It's more finished thanks to David Ellis. David Ellis helped me finish it better. But yeah.
So what do we leave out now?
Well, I saw Iron Chef.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yes, Iron Chef.
If you haven't already played enough slicing and chopping cooking games on Wii, this one has...
It's Mario Batali.
There's a scary Mario Batali, a Cat Cora, and a really terrifying Alton Brown head. It looks like Max Headroom.
It's more than that. It's like he has like all of a sudden has spiky hair and all kind of crazy crap. I'm not sure about that.
What are you going to do?
Make a game. Like, wait a minute. So if you actually want to break down that game for a second, isn't the thing about Iron Chef that they're all competing under time? Does time work into that game? Because all I saw was a game that looked like Cooking Mama.
It's like Cooking Mama. Yeah.
Marmar.
Yeah. Marmar.
But, you know, actually, the show floor, there are tons of games there. We've seen a lot of them. But, you know, if you haven't played Rock Band 2 or Guitar Hero on Tour, they have amazing setups, like serious hardcore setups that are worth playing here.
Definitely. So I think that what's going to happen here is so far, and I was walking out here for a minute ago, and everyone was like, Rock Band 2 way better than Guitar Hero. It's just, you know, Guitar Hero is not a copycatter, right? Guitar Hero is like, everybody's down on... Why are you guys down on Guitar Hero? Why does it suck? I mean... Change developers. Like, do you really give a damn who developed your game if you like the game? If you like the game... A lot of people like Tony Hawk. I'm even... So... I love my Dreamcast. Okay, so I have another question here. How bad really is Brett Ratner? Because obviously I don't keep up with the movie world enough, but evidently, like, there's a lot of spite for this guy.
You missed X-Men 3 somehow? I mean, really, that was feces like being rubbed into your eyes. Like the heroes of your childhood are being like sexed on spikes. It's a disaster. I had to watch it on a plane. I wanted the plane to fucking crash. It's terrible. I can talk about movies.
Awesome.
Hey, Luke, can you talk about the Halo movie?
There's no Halo movie.
Surprise. Anyway, so Brett Ratner is going to make a
sounds amazing. It's a
Guitar Hero movie.
Story of a small town boy. You know, just overcomes triumph. It's a success story. I think that's at least $40 million.
We had this...
We had this discussion earlier.
I think this movie can be good. It's basically just The Wizard, but remade. I mean, really, that is what this movie is going to be.
How'd you get to The Wizard?
Wait, no, you really just said that? You actually, like, are you being real shame, or are you being, like, fake shame?
Like,
I'm gonna say this really stupid thing, I get upset.
No, the plot of the Guitar Hero movie is like a bunch of a ragtag group of kids get on like a road trip.
So it's the Sandlot with instruments.
Yeah,
Awesome. That sounds sweet. Against.
Actually, speaking of against and for, Luke, I heard you were officially for a certain game called Two Human.
Hey, I've been playing a ton of it. Mountains of it. I'm a loot whore. I'm a huge loot whore. I get tons of loot. You must just not ruin your dude properly. I'm like unlocking charms, ruining up, got a defender, got a berserker, got a champion.
And now you know why that wheel is collecting dust.
He's four.
You're really
I'm having a the only way I'm playing it is co-op, though. I haven't played it alone.
Okay, what do you guys really think? No more Two Human talk, right? No. Done. All right, so there you go.
Unless Dennis is here and wants to come up.
I would. All right, so he's not.
I would love that. Is he here? Dennis?
They're all looking around now.
Andrew, that's where you
back to talking about Nintendo games I don't care about.
Foley sounds in, right? That's where the crickets go. So we think we should put some of our friends up here and embarrass them and humiliate them in front of all these people.
Who's here?
So let's start with Brad, because I think, Brad, you're first.
No.
Oh, come on. So Brad Shoemaker.
Brad Shoemaker of Giant Bomb. And
He'll be...
And Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but you have a tour, some sort of reunion tour tomorrow, right?
Something like that.
Is that here?
We haven't really figured out yet what it is.
Well,
we didn't figure out what this was until about
So you just like
15 minutes ago. Yeah, we got like 24 hours.
Is there any way I can get headphones just so I can like hear his voice in my head? It's blowing my mind.
His voice has
First 5 minutes.
it's a soothing sound.
After that, it's going to cost you. Brad and I will be doing a show later.
That sounds like a dude trying to sound like a dude.
Who sounds like a dude?
No, just a dude sounding like a dude. No third dude.
You lost my dudes.
No third dude.
So, Brad, did you walk on the show today? Yeah, a little bit. All right, so give us a hit. I didn't play anything. That's where the state of video game journalism is today, folks. I didn't play anything.
Those are your words, right?
It's all about snap judgments now. What? It's all about snap judgments now. Oh, it's all about snap first impressions or everything. All right, you failed. Get out of here. Sean Elliott, you're up next. Oh, yeah, dude, Sean, bring it, dude. Come on. You are next on the parade.
And I know for a fact that Sean Elliott has something to talk about because he went to Valve to play Left 4 Dead just the other day.
If you saw the news story, dude, I have to say, like, along with the dedicated series, there's a lot of good news coming for 360 gamers on Left 4 Dead.
There's some good news about Left 4 Dead. Sorry, you put me on the spot. Yeah, the first thing that impressed me about the game, and this is coming from, diehard PC player, is that it was fun to play on Xbox 360 and on that controller. The not auto aim, almost got you. The aim assist. The aim assist is actually so unobtrusive that you're not even really aware of it. You just feel like you're actually effective with a what's it called? Sorry, I'm nervous. There's a lot of people.
The dual analog stick.
Hey, hold on a second. Everybody, you guys love Sean?
Yeah.
All right. You got nothing to be worried about, dude. Okay.
So what they've also done is they've added a quick 180 snap turn with the right bumper button, and that's because the zombies are always, the AI director in the game is causing the zombies to come in at different access points every single time you play, so that, when you load it up again, and there are only 4 campaigns, it's not like, here's where you get your grenade out, and you go first because there's going to be 5 zombies around this corner, 2 over here that come out of the train. It's always different, but you need to be able to turn around immediately and shoot something behind you. So they've added this button, and that seems to be working well also.
So you guys want to know what this actually looks like when we try to get stories out to you? So Sean was at Valve yesterday playing this stuff. David was with him. He's aiming me stuff last night while I'm sitting in the office trying to write up the news story to explain all this stuff. And I'm like, so can you play it split screen? And if you play it split screen, can you go online? And how does that work out? And he's like sending me back all this stuff. And so I'm talking to David on AIM, who's talking to Sean, who's in the room, and they're like giving me the whole scoop. It's a lot of work.
I had to give you shit for one thing though, and this is inevitable because Chinese whispers last night from the hotel room of like me telling David something and him telling you something. But you're saying that the game might be a sleeper hit, but for me it was interesting. You know, when you go on the floor here, there's a line that wraps around that box. And, I mean, we're not everyone in the giant market. We're all enthusiasts here, right? But I mean, that doesn't seem like anyone was asleep here, certainly.
But I think if you look at it as strictly as a 360 game, where it's going up against Gears, and then if you look in the bigger console arena where it's going to be up against Resistance 2, there's a lot of games that are getting that super high AAA, you know, already pre-assumed that it's going to be a AAA title, and Left 4 Dead hasn't been lumped into that, despite the fact that it's a Valve game.
I think people will catch on to it quickly. Every time you see video of this game in action, you're like, it's zombies running at you from every angle. If you jump on top of a bus and try to escape them, they're going to clamber up and, you know, find some way to get you. There's a whole element of the game that people haven't even needed to sell it with. Basically, when you see this game, you just see zombies running. But then, you know, playing from the infected side adds a whole other element. And for example, would be like, you know, if Luke, you and I were playing, I could be the smoker, and they have this enormous, like, prehensile tongue, and you catch someone with it, and then other players playing a boomer. That's the big fat guy that explodes, and, you know, this bile that attracts more zombies. So if I, like, snag someone, and then you go up and blow up on him, then all the rest of the zombies are going to get him, and you can actually prey on the weak player. You can isolate them in the way that you would in normal multiplayer. You know someone's name, you're like, let's all get this guy. He sucks. You know, you could totally do it in that game.
So in the shooter, it's Shane.
In this case, yeah. Shane, I want to see Shane play a first-person shooter one day.
I thought he was going to play Bioshock. Was it good?
It's still in my pile of shame.
Your pile of shame?
Nice.
I know. It was really easy. It was kind of laid in front of me.
It's a big pile.
Why did you not play Bioshock, by the way?
I had other games. It's on my list.
Oh, I know. You were waiting for the PS3 version.
That comes out soon.
Hey, Sean, what else? You want to hit anything else?
This might get me in trouble. I played Resistance 2 in the game. It seems pretty cool. But I just have this like hard time with the dual analogs playing first-person shooters on that system. And I mean, I've heard people explain it in various ways, but yeah, you agree? And the first thing I wanted to do was play with an Xbox controller with a mouse so that I could really get a sense for how the game was put together and designed, because it was so immediate. I'm playing it and it's like, these controls suck. But I mean, not that they were designed poorly than anything else, but just something about those analog sticks. I don't like it.
So what do you know? Is it the center thing? Because I think the most common complaint is that it doesn't have enough dead space in the center of the stick.
I feel really distanced from it for some reason. I mean, I'm still trying to find a way to articulate exactly what the experience is. I mean, where I'm really zoomed in with the shooter on a PC because there's like total accuracy, right? And more, I feel like this visceral sense of, I'm doing this and I'm putting input in and it's coming out of the game with a 360 controller. And this is the one where I just think the point is I shouldn't really be aware of the interface as much as I am, and I'm constantly aware. It might change if that were my only platform. And I assume if the people here were like, what the hell is this guy talking about? It's like if you only play on a PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3 shooters, it probably doesn't make any difference because that's what you're accomed to.
You know, Sean, I forget what it's called, but there's actually a third-party peripheral for PS3. It's like a mouse attached to a mouse pad with buttons on it. I forget what it's called. It came out for Resistance, and it's like a mouse and keyboard. You might try it.
Those only work so far because you really have to design the game for, I think, that speed. Like, this was the case.
Well, it was designed around Resistance 1, so I imagine it works pretty well with Resistance 2.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Brian's probably here somewhere, right?
Somewhere.
Wait. Is Brian somewhere? Brian, are you out there?
The Fragile Eagles landed somewhere on here.
He's probably downloading that Resistance 2 game, whatever. Like, that's more important than this.
Did any of you guys try Legendary, the box?
The game. Legendary, the box, the game.
It's no longer the box, okay? It's just Legendary.
I know Matt Leone's a big fan.
So that's a no? I don't know. It seems like it might be promising. I played for just like a half second and I meant to go back, but there's like well, the reason being, this is totally new to me, right? When there's like a big line of people and you get your turn, I feel guilty the whole time. You look behind me like guy's like, come on, man, it's my turn. So I let him have his turn.
Don't feel so guilty about it. Just rip it. Say, look,
You're Sean Elliott.
do you know what the fuck I am?
But that's what this is what's so cool about PAX is like there's no, I mean, we have our press shows and stuff, and here we're just like the same as everyone else. I try to get into the keynote, waited in the whole line. Anyone else raise your hand if you did the same thing. You waited for an hour, and the line snakes, and it's like getting there. 10 people in front of me, they closed the door, and I was like, bye.
Ouch.
But that's like, why should I be any different, you know? So.
No.
All right. Yeah, we're going to keep moving. doing?
Hello.
All right. What else you want to get in? You want to get anything else before I embarrass the crap out of Danny and Alex and Jeff? Because don't sit there and freaking nod your head like that. Let's get them over here. Get up.
I want to hear more about that dude's intestines. I know what's up. I'm aware.
Who do I need to grab? Who's coming?
Bad. It's serious stuff in there.
Who's next? Because I get a shirt from nowhere when they come up.
TRS. Hang that shirt on Jeff. Jeff Canada does all of the video game stuff on Totally Rad Show, along with Alex and Danny. These guys have been fans. Like these guys are so freaking nice to me. It is amazing, and I cannot tell you how much I respect them. So. Put it on, man. Wait. Alex, Danny, get the hell up. Put that shirt on. Wait, you guys never seen a camera before? Christ.
What is this podcast thing you speak of?
It's a mystery. Can you handle stick mics?
Yeah.
Right here. They can handle one mic, Luke. You can.
Three dudes on one?
3 dudes on one. Yeah. 3 girls, 1 mic. Like you've never seen that before.
We'll do one word at a time for our answers.
Okay, so you guys walked around the floor.
6.
You want to come down here?
Give me the hit.
Tell about Schizoid.
Oh, we played Schizoid.
Oh, okay, cool. Good one. All right. Yeah, there you go.
Fun. Really fun game.
And
multiplayer.
It's already out.
How come? I want to know.
I'm just saying, the game's already out, dude.
It's out.
Well, hey, if I'm sitting
Why you
here,
like that?
if I'm sitting here, then I'm going to talk about another game that's already out because I have a bone to pick with you people.
Oh shit, he's going to talk about
Hit
Braid.
me with that. I'm not.
Who liked Braid? They're not cheering for you, Garnet.
No, Alex is with me. That's all that matters.
They're always cheering for Garnet.
Yeah, well,
No, go ahead and tell me. How good is it?
very, very good.
You disagree. Whatever. Keep talking. You're sitting in the...
How come John hasn't spoken? I love John on this
I
show.
got here like 5 minutes ago. I've not played anything.
I think the bigger problem was he didn't get to drink before we came.
Yeah, I haven't had a drink. I played Spore on the way here. I could talk about that.
Talk about it.
And Spore Creatures. Have you played Spore Creatures?
You mean Pokemon?
It's Pokemon. I thought it was going to be the
It's
creature
Pokemon.
creator, but it's Pokemon. With Parappa the Rapper graphics.
I hear it's a little disappointing. Okay, I'm buying it.
I hear it's slightly disappointing, actually.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of Pokemon. I think you would like it.
All right.
You were on the review though, weren't you?
I'm more curious about Real Spore.
Real Spore is going to suck down a lot of your time. I played it on the plane, and people would sort of like craning over. And
So what does your monster look like? What is your...
at the moment, he's called Spiky.
He's just...
He's covered in spikes.
Oh, all right. Is he a spiky phallus?
He has a tendency towards that direction.
Just a hunch.
Hey, Will Wright encourages it. He said to the Associated Press that he admires people's creativity in making enormous schlong-shaped monsters.
So he must be in love with Sharky stuff.
I think Sharky's was the example that was held up. The big pink one with the leaves growing out as pubes. That one was and the eye on the end of the tentacle that was like bobbing around. I wasn't really sure what he was going for with that.
The serpent is subtle. It really is.
Really, Spore? Really?
Really? Spore.
Like, you guys have all heard me say this, so I'm going to still say it in front of you guys. I think Spore is a wonderful technology accomplishment.
Garnet doesn't like Braid. Doesn't like Spore.
Oh, we're going to go back to that.
Hasn't played Little Big Planet, but we'll talk about it at great length.
I like games that are fun.
The Sims is a fad, said Garnet.
What about you guys? You guys were talking to the crowd before the show started, and they seemed to really want to talk about Castle Crashers.
They did want to talk about Castle Crashers. Holy shit. Castle Crashers was great last year when it worked.
I heard that game is just called Crashed. Like, Crashed your Xbox 360.
It's a game that is worth suffering through all the crashes for.
Oh, so it's like Braid with suffering through.
It's a yeah. So no Crashers with me. I played until about 3 o'clock in the morning the night before last.
I played it with Mark McDonald and had to get up early in the morning to play with him.
And that was because he was crashing, and you had to start over.
Yeah, absolutely. We had no crash issues. We were just the chosen ones.
Were you on PartnerNet?
No, it was on release.
Yeah?
I bought it with real money.
Whoa.
Yeah, I know.
HEC?
Baseball.
Yeah.
Hard-earned cash?
Yeah, seriously.
So is it as like ass-achingly hard as Alien Hominid? Well, I'm not tried it yet. I mean, Alien Hominid.
If you play by yourself, it is ass-achingly hard. But it's a game that's not made for you to play by yourself.
Oh.
It's a game for multiple people.
But sometimes when you try to play it with others as it's intended, it doesn't seem to work.
Unfortunately, that is the case. We had many frustrated...
I stopped. I did. I was like, this is fun. I'm out of here.
Wait, hold on. The way this technology works is the microphone records your voice.
Hello.
Maybe Alex, he should talk about Braid.
Braid.
You gotta keep the shirt. The shirt is yours.
Dude, you are Mr. Shirt. What is this? I don't even know. Shane Tark. So,
Wait, hold on.
first off,
What? What? Me?
Oh, wow. Don't it quit.
I'm just going to have this sort of be like a Red Lobster show anymore. Like a Red Lobster bit. And Shane, you're the only one left. Dude, what happened?
I know why Garnet left. He's got delusions of rock star
Look
now.
at you.
Sing for us, Garnet.
I swear to everybody up here, we came here as fanboys. We just wanted to watch your show. And all of a sudden I'm sitting in Garnet's
It
seat.
really is yours.
What's it feel? Is it warm?
You're a fuck.
What's it like? I love that Dan is still standing creepily behind me. This is my kind of show.
So Alex, what did you like about
Can I
Braid?
get some water? You know, to me, it was like, sorry, Dan, I love you. It was, to me, it just didn't, I know, get ready, Jeff.
It looked like a British game from 1991.
How many levels did you play, Shane? How many levels did you play?
Uh-oh.
I played 1,000.
One.
I went to 1,000. To me, it just wasn't, I think I got screwed up because it kept getting called a puzzle game to me, and I was...
It is a puzzle game.
It is not a puzzle game.
There are jigsaw puzzles.
Dude, a jigsaw puzzle does not equal puzzle game. That's like saying you jump down a tube, so it's a plumbing game. It is not a plumbing game. That is a platformer. So, and that's semantics, whatever. And so for me, I got really confused because I was ready to experience like mind games, like brain games from HBO. You know, that's what I wanted. Word puzzles, you know, like...
That costs more than $14.
You want to like a book that you can buy at the airport. That's exactly. I was looking for a Suzuki book.
Says the guy wearing a bib.
Hey, my bib fell. I got stuff on me. No, so to me it was just I didn't get into it. I mean, it was fun. The times that I was having, I was like, oh, this cool, cute little platformer. But I just didn't think it did anything that really transcended, at least for me. Now, I get that it's some sort of mind screw puzzle thing that you end up, I don't know, solving world hunger.
Every person that I've talked to that didn't like the game didn't play the game.
If you don't like a game, you stop playing the game. You can't be a good game because if you force yourself to play this crappy-ass game that you're not enjoying, you will maybe like the outcome. Screw you. Yes. That's what I'm doing.
The crowd erupts in tepid applause.
I'll take tepid.
But Alex, if your girlfriend dumped you and you made a hipster homage to Mario Brothers, you'd want people to like it too.
I agree. Yeah, if I made this game, it would have been genius. I mean, even as is, I would have been like, it's the best thing I've ever done.
Fucking amazing. You should buy it for $50.
Now Dan should talk.
You guys ready to take some questions? No, wait. You're like Donnie. No, you guys got to stay in. Wait, where you going?
He wanted to watch.
Oh, good. All right. Here, guys, you have. He is the heart and soul of the entire One Up Radio Network. He's the guy who's producing these podcasts for you. Thank you, Shane.
He said, "Thank you, Shane." You have 35 minutes right here,
brother.
Come up, because you got to come up here to get your voice heard. Everybody, come up here. So, who is this? Orderly line, please.
My name's Jason, and I just had a quick question for you all. The panel right before this was, so you want to pitch a game design, and in your interactions with developers, producers, things like that, have you guys ever pitched a game design to them in your interviews? If so, what was that game design? If not, what would be the one game design you could pitch to them, and who would be the developer?
Oh, boy.
Rule number one of game
I've never pitched a game design.
Pitch the idea to the developer.
Yeah,
Seriously.
See what he did there?
Seriously.
I've never pitched a game. I did end up playing on the soundtrack to one once.
Which game?
I know if it came out here. It was a game called Normality.
That came out, yeah.
It came out. All the guitar, that was me.
Are you serious? Really? Yeah.
Whoa.
So I was interviewing the guy, and he was talking about how the dude in the game was like a guitarist, and we started talking about playing guitar, and he goes, "You wanna lay down some licks, man?" And except he said it with a Sheffield accent, so it was sort of Northern English, sort of, you know. And so yeah, all that really bad guitar from a game 12 years ago is me.
Wow. Sweet. Thanks, man. All right, tell us who you are and what's your question?
My name is Chu. I come all the way from Nigeria. So you guys are fans there?
Hey.
Who knew?
By the way, I'm not pissed about Resident Evil 5, by the way. I'm still going to...
Brought the lights out.
Oh, sorry.
It just got sexy. Oh, it's not sexy anymore.
I'm a big rock band fan, and I was wondering, do you guys think if the music game thing right now, do you think it's just a phase for this generation, like how platformers were back then, or do you think it's going to continue? And if it does, what do you think can take it to the next level, apart from, like, you know, album, DLC, and stuff like that? That's it.
Dude, Sessler, get up here, bro.
You got finally upstage.
We got Adam Sessler, but we should answer this question about music games.
Yeah, so we'll do the music game question real quick, and Adam, thanks for coming, man. I know you just finished shooting, so
I was bored. I mean, I don't think anyone thinks that these games are a fad, but I would hope that we've only seen a little bit of what they can do, because like they've gotten so much better in just 3 years. And I would like to see, you know, more instruments, more music, a store like iTunes.
I think camera support. I'd like to see, like, so you can make videos and like straight poses. I don't know. I'm on a music kick today. I don't know what's going on.
And I like the music creation stuff they're putting in Guitar Hero on tour, but it's a little too complicated. I'd like to see that more easy to use. It's really complex.
more easy to use, not more complex.
Yeah.
You would like
Because the argument that Harmonix made was that they were going to make a serious music creation tool.
For musicians, but just for the layman, it has to be easy. Yeah.
That sounds like work. Like,
You're the musician, you fucking tell me. So, Adam, what'd you see at the show today? What hit?
Actually, I was around, like, doing so many interviews with, like, panelists and people like that. I only saw a handful of games, but I did sit around and just play Fallout 3 for about a good 25 minutes. So that game is just awesome.
So what do you like about Fallout 3? Because it's not the game that it used to be. It's not the isometric. It's not the tactical strategy game.
Well, okay, I really like the Morrowind games. I mean, Oblivion, Elder Scrolls, and I've always liked Mad Max and everything like that. And the whole idea that I get to actually really feel like I'm in a living, breathing version of the apocalypse without having to actually be there in the apocalypse. It's just, I remember the first time I saw a demo about it, I was like 2 years ago, and they brought the character into Megaton, and that's that first big kind of town with the bomb in the middle. It's this crater, and everyone in the room just kind of gasped, because we all thought at the same time, it's Bartertown, and I get to play in it, and it was just so exciting.
And it totally works, doesn't it?
It completely works. I love that game.
You know, I had someone tell me not if you were the never mind. Anyway, so you got another question. Who are you, man?
Hey, I'm Josh, and being from Evil Avatar, I just want to ask, why isn't Phil here?
Phil is in
Minnesota.
Yeah, he was in Germany, and he came back all jet-lagged and tired. And he really wishes he could be here because he's a big fan of it.
I was in Germany.
You were in Germany? What did you do in Germany?
I'm going to say. I'm going to call Phil. And I'm jet-lagged and tired, really. I'm wearing my butt for a hat right now, so if I say something strange, just forgive me.
Phil's fired. You convinced me.
Yeah, we're getting rid of him now. He's a slacker.
All right, so I'll put you on the spot then, Adam. What was your game of the show at Leipzig?
At Leipzig. Well, there was very little that was actually so new at Leipzig that I hadn't seen at E3. There's one thing I missed at E3 that was being shown behind closed doors, and due to the nature of our show, it's behind closed doors. We can't put it on TV, so it has a sort of secondary importance. Heavy Rain out of Sony. This game, I kind of liked Indigo Prophecy or Fahrenheit, as it was known in Europe, but they've taken that and they made something that really, I'm a believer. And I used to say you cannot tell good stories in games, and now I'm just eating crow on that one.
Wait, how did you only kind of like Fahrenheit?
I wanted to be more.
You can like it up to the last 10 minutes.
Wait.
The last 10 minutes we just disregard. That never happened. That's kind of ruined. It's like the last season of X-Files. It never happened.
The last 3 seasons of X-Files.
Did those include the movies?
The last season of Buffy.
Yeah.
Okay, you get there? Last season of Buffy. Yeah. So, like, David Gill, like, he knows how to really craft those stories.
Seriously?
It was awesome, dude.
You watched Buffy?
It's awesome.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, trust me. I want to see 70% of the people in this room.
I want to see more. No, I just want to see you be really excited about Sarah Michelle Gellar right now.
Okay, she's freaking A, she's hot. B, she was terribly cool, and she spiked. So,
You kind of ran
next question, please. Next question.
Next.
What about it, Buffy?
What about Buffy?
What do you think?
Firefly fan.
Don't waste Firefly.
Buffy.
Right. My goddamn show.
One at mine.
I'm sitting in your seat. You are now Garnet Lee, which means you're facing all kinds of ridicule.
Question, please. Question. We're wasting time.
Okay, so I just want to hit the people first before we hit the main question. Sessler, thank you for coming up all the years and being a complete doofus and with a straight face.
I like that. That's good tagline. Complete doofus, straight face.
Amen. Luke Smith, you were the heart and soul of the show. You were the only one to battle shot Shane Bettenhausen. And then you left. Yeah, betrayed, murdered. Yeah, I'm your Vader, bitch. Andrew, thank you so much for keeping the podcast levels okay, because I'm listening to him with...
Just okay?
Well, I'm listening to him at work in the construction yard, and nothing more than I hate than fucking Shane going, ugh! And then
I do that a lot.
That's how I feel. And then my ears pop out. I'm like, God damn it. Shane. John. Hey. You guys should hire this guy. I like him. John, you are a cool British person. I hope your children are all soccer hooligans.
You represent an entire country. Amazing. Right now.
Better bring it home strong.
All right. Garnet Lee, has anyone ever told you that you sound like Laszlo from GTA?
Yes.
Seriously, though, since this is called the One Up Yours podcast, when are we going to get a little more involvement from the community of us?
You're asking questions right now. You didn't have questions. You just had comments, dude. Come on, what more do you want?
Kind of sounds like Shane. Anyway. Why do you hate Sonic?
You hate Sonic?
Yeah, why?
Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah, you're supposed to be an angry Sega fan. Next!
Sonic? Dude, seriously.
You got a last hit?
Get away, get a new dude. We'll be talking about Shenmue 2 in a second.
Good luck.
Hey, that was a great game.
Seriously. Good luck on your Cream the Rabbit fan art.
All right, next up we have...
Garrett, but first, pardon the voice. I sound like Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
Yeah. But I was just wondering about Rock Band and Guitar Hero set lists, because I personally prefer Rock Band, but Guitar Hero is a better Billy Idol song.
Okay, so you guys, Rock Band 2, Guitar Hero, fight.
Does one of them have Pinkerton by Weezer? Because otherwise I don't care.
I'm on the side of Rock Band 2. It's a more eclectic mix. There's some really great shit. Chinese democracy, you can't say anything but that.
Wait. What Billy Idol song is on which game? I'm forgetting. One of them has White Wedding, one of them has Rebel Yell. Which one has which?
Guitar Hero has Rebel Yell.
White Wedding so much better.
What? Wait. What?
Oh, yeah.
Just with Rebel Yell, also YouTube.
You know, back when I actually really fancy myself becoming Billy Idol, and I do this all the time, and just, you know, there's just something nastier and like kind of mean-spirited rock and roll in White Wedding. You know, everyone. Anyway,
that's a point for who gets the point? Hey,
Garnet, if that question had been asked to Ryan's Chris Cola, you know what his answer would have been? Rock Revolution. What? For real? What? Say that well. Really?
Hi, I'm Roman. I do have a question for you guys, but first I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh, who doesn't?
There's a line.
I didn't know she was your wife. I'm sorry.
I think it was his mom.
You would have been the only person to touch that. No, okay.
Eyes wide shut shit.
Let's restart the question.
I want you to put a mask on and fuck her. He's gonna watch.
Please rephrase the question.
No, I do have a question, but first, last year I came to this show, I called you all man gods, I was driving home, and then you came to my hometown of Edmonton, Alberta, and called it a complete shithole.
I remember that. He did.
Yeah, okay. For no reason other than you went to a really shitty bar in a really shitty part of town. Now, I did fuck you.
I like this guy.
He liked his wife, too, remember?
Okay, now, I I did bring a bottle of red scotch for you, but it got broken on the way here. If you are at the GameWorks thing, I will buy you a drink as a peace offer.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, we will be tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. at GameWorks, 21 and older.
Let's just walk through the dude's logic real quick.
Yeah.
Something just didn't make sense. One, you fucked his wife. Two, he was pissed at you because you didn't like his city. And now he's apologizing to you because you...
Wait a minute.
What? Dude, it's hard to buy you a drink because you shit on your awesome town. Or for life.
Not everyone's a complete douchebag. There's a difference.
And more importantly, do you have a question? All right, let's get to the question.
Yeah, what happened to Sonic?
Okay, no, I remember when God of War 2 came out, and I loved it. I was so hyped for it. I played it, put it down. 2 weeks later, I played it again, and I hated it. And I wanted to ask you guys, how do you guys keep yourselves from getting wrapped up in hype? And also, what games have there been for you guys where you played it, and then when you went back to it, you thought, oh, I was too hard on it, or I was too easy on it?
Okay, first of all, bring me a shirt because he asked the first good question.
Those are some good questions. Bring me a shirt. I mean, shirt guy. In terms of hype,
definitely.
I mean, we get to play games a lot earlier than you guys, so we're kind of the ones making some of the hype.
His wife.
Kind of? A little bit. So we're the ones who, it's hard for us to get caught up in it. Unless it's a big franchise, you're already excited about a game because you played the previous one, whatever. But on a game that came out of nowhere, like Little Big Planet, we saw it the first time as everybody else, and the hype just naturally grew. And it lived up to our expectations, that one.
I mean, I don't know if it's still like this for you guys, but back when I was running EGM, which was like 10 years ago, when the really big stuff came out, a lot of the guys on the team would actually fight to not review it because the circumstances for reviewing a game are kind of heinous, particularly around the holidays. And I mean, it gets kind of difficult when you got like 15 games lined up and something like Metal Gear, which you want to completely absorb. And it's like, okay, well, this is due by Friday, and and you want to experience it. It's kind of difficult. So I can remember, I think it might have been John Riccardi, really fighting to not do Metal Gear Solid 2 when it came out because it was like I want to enjoy it on my own time. And I think that, stepping away from it, it's been quite nice to just do one or two every now and then because you can enjoy it properly.
When I was reviews editor at 1UP, I would do the same thing. I would try to avoid the Zeldas and Metal Gears and things like that because I just wanted to play them at home, comfortably.
Yeah, I had to play not Metal Gear, but Mass Effect over a weekend, and that was about 20 hours a day, and pretty much I didn't really talk to my wife that entire time. She would just kind of walk out of the bedroom, look at me with my headphones on, and go, and then just retreat back into the cave that was the bedroom. As far as regretting a review, I don't think I've ever fully regretted a review, but there are times where you play a game that is doing something that is very new and fresh and revolutionary, and that really stands out from some other elements of the game that are a little bit rough around the edges. And there are times where we've given perfect scores on X-Play where it's not saying the game is perfect, but there's so much in what is working right about this game that it is worth pursuing. But do not think that every single step of the way is just, some sort of Fabergé egg of interactive entertainment. So, those are my 2 cents.
All right, next up is Tyler. I got questions for two of you. John, what would you rather be the next game you go on the Today Show for, Spore or Little Big Planet?
Ooh, as Meredith called you back in.
And you want Meredith?
How about that?
What was the second part?
How about that?
For Luke, it's been about a month and a half. When do we get to hear more about the Superintendent and the canceled announcement from Bungie?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one that's not a question for me. It's a question for Microsoft.
Okay, so back to John Davis and Meredith.
I want to go back to that.
So,
giving you that.
How was coffee?
You turned out okay, John. That's what she said.
Turned out right. You had John. You were okay, right?
No, she did give me a hug. That was
nice. Actually, when I was on The View one time, she patted me on the thigh.
Whoa!
She told me I was on The View. I was on The View when Star Jones was on The View. I thought she was going to eat me.
All right, next up we have...
Franco? Hey, yeah. Do you guys like being in the same theater where people have to stand in the back? Why are you guys here?
Because PAX put us here. So this is simple. That was easy. Well, we never thought this many people would come.
We will try to walk to the back. If you're in the very back, stay around. We'll be here for a little bit.
According to our recent listener statistics, we only have 17 people listening to the show every week. So
everyone's downloading it on Z-Share or something.
Yeah. And by the way, all of us have moms, and that's at least 5 more listeners. So that means we only have 12 listeners.
Yeah, but Shane pissed off my mom, so that's down 1.
Okay, so we're up to 6. Oh, you got another one? Yeah. Okay, quick.
Okay, cool. Is this the good one? Well, that was the first one, the prologue, and this is chapter 1. Well, I tried to ask this question last year, but Luke, you had to save me. But with the One Up Yours and One Up show, we have like such an eye into the your guys' offices that like when someone leaves, like not only that you like the co-workers are sad, but like an actual community, heck, even a cult. But is it a good thing or a bad thing? Do you like the community so close?
Are you kidding me? I love that the community is so close. Why do you think I'm standing out here with you guys? Jesus.
To have pictures.
That's what it's all about. By the way, have you heard the name of the show? It's One Up Yours. Or maybe we should change the show to One Up Ours.
Well, but also, we tend to not lose track of our friends like Che and Jane and Luke.
And Luke and I left a year ago.
And John. So it's not just see you later.
I'm still trying to heal.
So am I. Shit, I don't even work there.
It hurts you bad.
Yeah. Why am I here?
That's a whole other existential question.
Yes.
Hey, my name's Adam. I came all the way to Philadelphia to ask you guys. Recently, your ex-editor, Dan Shu, and Chris Boyer started up a blog, and Shu's been writing a lot lately about editorial and people being manipulated by the companies that they cover. Do you think there's any way really to sort of split ourselves from this sort of divide that's like, as on your show, N-Guy put it, the deal with the devil, or in his article?
I mean, the PR cycle controls all of video game journalism, basically, and if you try to break out of it, you get in trouble, and we try not to be beholden to that as much as we can. That's we're always often breaking embargoes for accident.
We all look forward to the day when most of the advertising in the magazine and the sites is not video game related, so there's not that relationship there, but we don't know if that's going to happen anytime soon.
But the relationship between publishers, media, journalism, and the user, it's not just video games, it's all media outlets. You should definitely question everything you read and look at the ads that are on the site, and yeah, it's a little sketchy.
He has a follow-up.
I guess my only question would be, do you have a bullshit filter?
I'm actually doing journalism as a major this year.
Do you have a bullshit filter?
No, probably not.
Why not? Why not? Wait a minute. Do you guys have bullshit filters? And you use them all the time, right? Like
it's a minus full.
All right, so just apply the bullshit filter, right?
At the same time, though, like, I respect all you guys because you guys try to stay objective, and Shu concentrated a lot on objectivity in his blog. And do you guys ever feel that, like, for example, Shane, you went to Kojima Productions and essentially played through Metal Gear Solid 2 months or
right, and that's the reason I wasn't on the review, just because people could cast dispersions on that and say that I was influenced, even though I wasn't. But yeah, I worked with Shu for 8 years, and he's the most morally upstanding guy I've ever known. And you definitely should question where some of these reviews are coming from and where previews. And like when I started out, there was no such thing as a negative preview, and at EGM we kind of invented that, and it really pissed off the entire PR world, and slowly everybody else started doing that too. But yeah, like 8 years ago, you would never read a negative preview of a game ever, and now you can. So like there's more honesty, more transparency in the media now.
There was a lot of, it looks like it's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
but I think the honesty...
Stay tuned and find out. Maybe it'll be great.
There's interesting about the honesty thing. I think on one hand, there's the saying what it is that these guys are trying to pull, and I think Shu had mentioned the stuff with Ubisoft, and he'd mentioned the Prey review when that was kicking around. That was one of the infamous stories. And I mean, the flip side of that is there's a need to be honest on the media side as well, to say, to describe this stuff, and just to say, when we first got the Prey review code in, Garnet was on the review. And he came to me and he's like, they're hassling the shit out of me, what do I do? And it's like, don't review it. I mean, that's all you can do. If when it steps up to that level, when they're applying that amount of pressure, and we get it, I was getting calls and Garnet was getting calls, and he's like, well, one of your competitors has said that they'll give it between 8 and 9 maybe. And one of our competitors hasn't said that, but it's just a tactic. And that story will turn into, these guys were promised a 9, so that's why they got the exclusive. Bottom line, exclusive reviews are bullshit. don't believe anything when it is on the cover of a magazine and it says exclusive review because it was bought. I mean, that's basically it. Whether it was bought with favors or it was bought with an ad deal, it's the way it goes down.
Who is that shocking to? Yeah.
Actually, you know what? No. I'm not going to say this doesn't happen, but it's a testament to you guys. I would be safe to say that X-Play wasn't so much on the gaming industry. And by the gaming industry, I mean the publisher's radar until maybe about a year and a half ago. And so as I got to talk to Shu and other people like you guys over time, I was just apoplectic. I was almost kind of jealous. I'm like, why am I not getting pressure? Because, hold on a second. Come on, just try me for a second. Let's see what would happen. But no, obviously this does happen, and it's repellent. And I think it's a testament. There are really good guys that are out there that just will not put up with that kind of bullshit. But also shame on the game industry to thinking that we're such tools that they can actually do that. I mean, it's really kind of embarrassing. And there are times where I actually think that because we're the newest form of entertainment, and that, look at us. We're not here in suits and ties. There's a sense that somehow we're more manipulable. We can be pushed around. And that's the part that really, really gets my ire. And so, there you go, guys.
All right, who do we have next?
How you doing, guys? My name's Raj. I've come all the way from Australia.
Welcome.
Thank you. What will really blow your mind is that I was sent here by a Mac publication that I'm working for.
Wow. Go figure.
So if anyone has anything beside the Blizzard stand that I can go and actually do some work for, that would be...
We'll check back with you.
You're like the Ponce de Leon of journalists.
They give me a camera and a video camera and say, go do this.
I think he's still back on Vasco da Gama.
But because I am here being paid by these guys, what I wanted to ask you is, with the iPhone and this whole talk about it, how it being so powerful and this next generation of Apple gaming, I suppose you want to call it, do you realistically see this as being a step forward for Apple back into the gaming side of things?
Great question. What do you guys think? iPhone for real going to bring mobile gaming to North America?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on what you think. I mean, I think a lot of gamers look at games on mobile and still tend to dismiss them. There's over 300 games on the iPhone already.
But how many of them are terrible?
About 296.
Hold on. What did you say? How many of them are terrible?
All of them.
I would argue that Monkey Ball is decent, and it's the best-selling one. And my friend Ethan Einhorn, former Zip Dave's employee, is the producer, and
it's hard.
But talking to him, he's inspired now that there's a chance to maybe make real good games on it. But it's a danger. Is that going to happen, or is it just going to be shitty ports of Flash games? Is it going to be crap that no one wants to buy? It depends on how Apple controls the marketplace. I'm afraid they're not going to. We'll see.
What if they brought out a peripheral to actually use the thing rather than the touchscreen?
Like with buttons?
Yeah, buttons.
Well, I'll buy into your argument there. I mean, I think that at the end of the day, what you have is a beautiful screen that's great for surfing the net. It's very intuitive for that sort of interface. But as a gaming platform, where's the controls? Where's the interface?
If you're going to add buttons to a beautiful screen, get a PSP.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I'm not even completely sold that mobile phone gaming is where it's at. But that's a whole other subject, isn't it? All right. This guy has, by the way, great question. Much appreciated. He has a Totally Rad Show shirt.
Nice.
And we have 10 minutes. So we're at 10 minutes. 10 minutes. All right, so you have Totally Rad Show shirt. Introduce yourself and give us a question. We got to rock and roll.
Okay. Zach, and quick question. Portal versus Braid. Go.
Portal. All right, done deal. That was easy.
Wow. At the end of the day, I laugh during Portal. Braid, I love it, but there's that point where I want to smack that kid.
Braid has better music. This is David, right?
That's true.
David brought us the plum wine. So, David, what do you got going on, man?
Drinking good health, guys. Swear to God, the Aussie took my question, but it's all good. It's all good. Cheers, mate. Portal. All right, so quick fun question. So many times in a review, we see Game X is really great, but it's not going to convince anyone who's not a fan of the genre. How many times, what's a game that you guys personally have had, just made you a fan of that genre? For me personally, it was Chrono Trigger. It made me go back and play Final Fantasy 2 and 3 on the Super Nintendo and anticipate further RPGs. How come we don't see, games that just, cross genre barriers and just make us fans of those genres? And that's exactly what it was for me, was Chrono Trigger. And Civ Raz, too. Yeah, Civ Raz is definitely good.
Oh, I got one. Madden. Bizarrely, for a Brit.
Yeah, like, wow. All right. Madden 93, the first sports game, it also taught me the rules of football.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Tactics. I mean, I've always been a fan of strategy games, but oh, sorry. Well, we'll share it. Final Fantasy Tactics, man. You just you suddenly get why strategy RPG games really pull you in.
That's the only one I like, though. So I guess I don't care about the genre.
See, that's the problem.
There's always that one revolutionary of that game, of that genre. It's the king.
And also, Half-Life is the first FPS I ever played too.
Definitely.
And only. And yeah.
That list has grown to 3.
Bring it.
Hi, my name's Ralph. The Aussie took my question. I was going to ask about iPhone gaming as well.
Hold on, the Aussie took my question too.
So I'm left with the sandwich question.
The sandwich question?
It's definitely the meat. It's bread. The sandwich question, for anyone who doesn't know, is bread, meat. Bread. Show of hands. Hold on.
Question. It's all about the meat.
Thank you, Adam. All about the meat.
End of story.
Meat.
Without the meat, there's a fucking sandwich.
It's a debate that will rage.
Grilled cheese.
Bread. Not a sandwich.
It's all about the bread.
It's not a sandwich. It's a grilled cheese
Sandwich. It's a finger food.
All right, moving right along. Bread.
Hello, I'm Isaac. Getting back to the honesty in journalism question, do you think that honesty sells? Because it seems like GFW kind of folded. EGM sometimes seems to have been having some hard times where things like Game Informer survives no matter what. Well, yes, but even then,
let me ask, do you get Game Informer?
No, but like half my friends...
Does anyone here get Game Informer?
Yeah.
Did you get it because you wanted it or because they gave it to you? There you go.
Yeah, so I was just wondering if you ever worry that like the mainstream just wants more of the happy story and the good reviews and all that.
I think a bigger problem is the free press going away? Because in the realm, we get demos, when you can go online and watch a producer do a gameplay demo, why would you need to go read what we think of a game when you can play it yourself? So I think in a few years, when every system has demos you can download, the need for us to sell you games, to tell you about games will be diminished. So then, not honest reviews, well, you always need that. But in order for previews, you can kind of get that information yourself.
Our rules might not be necessarily diminished, but definitely changed.
Yeah.
Which is really a pity because a lot of demos out there blow. And they really are not demonstrative of the games that they're supposed to be trying to sell. They actually seem to work against them.
And there's still a value in long form critique too, even if you're not trying to sell something.
I like about what you said. You said that reviews are the only important and that previews will go away. I think it would be the other way around. Really? Because if there's a demo of everything, then everyone can make their mind up if they think it's good or not. But I think the one thing that the press will always have, and depending on how successful you are, you get better of this. But it's access. I mean, that's the one thing that the press has that because they can control the environment in which they're showing you and explaining the vision. And what always used to frustrate the crap out of me is after a bad review when you get the inevitable call from the marketing director giving you a hard time for giving someone 5 out of 10 when everybody else has given it 8 out of 10 the guy that was there wasn't at the demo and didn't have the producer explain it to him. And it's this game has since sold 300,000 copies. What the fuck do you think happened with those people? And it's I think that the previews will constantly be the real meat of what the press provides because you will be able to go out and give you a taste of something early.
And besides that, have you guys seen the internet? Once people are out there, they're going to talk about it. It's going to be on Tumblr, it's going to be on Twitter, it's going to be on Facebook. Everyone's going to be already doing those reviews.
For game as journalism, I'd like to see it segue into more post-release analysis, critiques, headier stuff, not just product recommendations.
All right, we have quite a line. Here's what we're going to do. 30 seconds each on the next one. Here you go.
All right, my name is Peter. I'm from Bellevue. I was just wondering, you were talking about that first-person shooter for Wii, and you're saying, it's going to save the system. But like your Wii, mine is also collecting dust. I loved Galaxy, and that's about it. And do we really? I mean, at this point, what's the point with the system? I mean, I work at games.
All right, let me stop right there. What's the point with the Wii?
Wii Sports. We play
families.
I love dust.
Why do we care? Why do we care about? Why do we care about the Wii?
Why do we care about the Wii?
Should we? And why do we care about the Wii?
My kids love video games because of the Wii. I mean, they're 3 and 5. It's how they got into it. So
it might not be for
us, but John, like,
Absolutely.
Absolutely perfect.
I would be happy for the week to extend.
Marijuana of video games.
That's John Davis. Will we be happy with it in 2 years, though? Will you want to play?
No, you want to move on from the marijuana of video games to the heavier.
All right, here you go. Fish. And you still only get 30 seconds.
We said 30 seconds, dude.
I'll condense it. All right. You have the power with the internet or your show, whatever, to force all the consumers to do one thing. Buy an unappreciated game, change the industry somehow, whatever. What do you use the power of your medium to tell them to do? They have to
chill the fuck out.
Yeah, done.
Didn't even need 30 fucking seconds. Adam, anybody different?
Yeah, think for yourselves. Really. If the kid on the playground says it's cool, you can still say.
And you guys know my answer. Have freaking fun with your games. Simple.
Hey, Josh from Pennsylvania. I have two things. One, Garnett just asked, how many times do we use our bullshit filter? Every time I hear Shane talk. Hang on. It sounded like you sort of planned that. Like that wasn't like a spontaneous awesome delivery. I said it earlier, but you've been sitting on that. You're really excited for it. It's okay, Shane. I got you. You're like my sister.
Please ask the bullshit filter. Please ask the bullshit filter question.
Skip.
Yes.
When are you coming back to CQY? We have a contingent here. We want you back.
Lich King Beta. I'm back.
Thank you.
All right. Nice. That's funny.
Where are you? Andrew, what server?
I forget. It's been that long. Bailgun server. Can't quit you. All right. Thanks, man.
All right, name's Jose, a.k.a. Blue Lord on NeoGaf. I just want to say, first of all, Garnett's the man. I know why you guys got hit all the time. Second, I was going to talk about getting pwned by newbies all day over there, the Recon Challenge, but forget that. Shane, why do you hate PSU if you were in the game?
I know, it's kind of ironic that I'm in that game, but too bad it sucks ass. I hope the PSP game is a step back in the right direction. They made it more like PSO.
You're in the game?
Yeah, milking out characters in the game.
Are you like a boss?
No, I give you like a item. I don't even know.
That's lame.
All right, we're running tight.
Hi, my name is Gabe. I really love this show. First thing, I think GFW Live should come to PAX next year. And also,
absolutely. GFW should be here, without a doubt. I agree.
Also, I was curious, do failed preview promises, like if a developer says that something's going to be in the game and it isn't in the game, does that affect your review score and how? Or why not?
That's a good one. Yeah, four-player co-op.
There's I believe there's a game called, I don't even know, it was some strategy game. It was supposed to be like a Soviet country, and you were supposed to originally be able to pull out and see the entire city and manipulate it, and it wasn't. And, when there's a game that's so sold on the basis of something like that, it's really hard even as a reviewer, even if you say, I can't diss it for what it doesn't have, it's really hard, like the original Fable. It's really hard to, separate those two. So functionally, I say, no, you can't fault it. I know I'm faulting it.
You also got to consider your readers who might not be aware that all this stuff got cut.
It's pretty common, though, actually, for features, levels, characters get cut. We see it all the time.
I have to say that for me, a preview is a preview, and I'm going to look at it from the standpoint of a fan is looking at a preview to see what's going on in the game. A review is a whole other can of worms, and when you're reviewing a game, you're reviewing it. It doesn't matter what's been said before. It just matters what the game is.
All right, you're up. Next to last, no pressure.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Jason. All right, so I'm a former hardcore gamer turned casual gamer. My Xbox Live score is below 500, but my Wii is filled with downloadable games. Do you see the future of gaming in digital, distribution?
100%.
Absolutely.
In fact, I think GameStop, they have things right now, they want you to buy used games, and they want you to keep buying used games, but I think 5 years from now, no one's going to be going to the store to buy used games. They're going to be downloading everything.
I don't think it's that soon because we have bandwidth issues we need to deal with, like Comcast.
Comcast is trying to cap bandwidth, but the information must be free to go around, and I think
it's nice to want things.
Yeah, I think burnout on PSN is the future for sure.
Yeah, and I think next year, every single PSP game will be downloadable.
I think the nice lady wants us to stop.
The nice enforcer.
All right, dude, you're last. Bring it. Who is last here? I'm Michael Gorman. I came from Pennsylvania. The PS3 is starting to overtake the 360 in sales, and the Wii is just dominating right now.
And I want to know why you guys think that the PS3 is starting to beat the 360. Because it seems like the 360 has most of the games that the PS3 has. And do you think it's the stigma that came from the Red Ring of Death, or do you think it's the Microsoft haters, or why do you think that the 360 and the Xbox, they can't seem to reach this?
So you want us to finish off by playing Global Thermonuclear Console Wars?
Yes. All right, guys, fight. Price point is still the most prohibitive, that's the most prohibitive element about gaming right now, period. At the console and platform level, that's what it is.
I think on that note, keep on, there, now I can see you, go. So there's, okay, anyway, I was going to say,
Blu-ray is a factor as well.
Yeah, I think PS3, I think Blu-ray is a big factor, although I don't know what the hell they're thinking making a more expensive one when what everyone wanted is a cheaper one. I mean, we keep going back up to $500, and didn't we already establish that doesn't work? I mean, but I think overall, the install base on 360 is still higher than PS3. I mean, I think but what I think could turn the tide is Little Big Planet.
Cecily, what was your comment? No, I was going to say, I think in people's minds they're getting a better bargain with a Blu-ray player and a game system without realizing that game system doesn't have a library that's anywhere near as robust as what you can get with the 360. But I think that, sometimes when you're buying one of those things, it's not just for you. You don't live by yourself. You're convincing your entire family while you're spending their budget. You say, but honey, we have this wonderful high-def player that goes well with our TV. Boom, it gets into the house. I think that's going to start to taper off a little bit with the PS3, and someone has to drop the prices.
All right, gang. You know where I'm at, right? I don't give a damn about the plastic box. It's about the games that play on the box. Who cares what it plays on? Preach on it. Preach it. Who cares about whether it comes through my internet or through a disc or through... I don't care.
I want you to make someone pass out so bad.
I just want a fun game to play.
I want you to knock someone out.
All right, everybody, mega props for showing up for this. Thank you, everybody. Fucking fantastic. Thank you. Tomorrow night, 21 and over at GameWorks, and thanks to our guests, Luke, Adam, Totally Rad, Sean, Brad. Thank you guys for listening every week. Until next week, we are both in the weekend